Propaganda Subtext 1. Legitimization of the bilateral format. Moscow-Washington negotiations are presented as the only real solution. Second, isolation of Ukraine. Its position is marginalized, and its leadership is discredited. 3. Europe is an extra. The EU is portrayed as weak, fragmented, and dependent on the US. 4. Preparation for a freeze of the conflict. Imposing the idea that a ceasefire without returning territories is a victory for all parties except Kyiv. You have been on the Empire of Lies program. Don't be fooled. As he said yesterday, the president hopes that there will be a trilateral meeting in the future that will finally end this conflict. A one-on-one meeting on Friday? Yes, that is the plan. Why Alaska? Many options were discussed, but of course, Alaska is part of the United States. So President Trump is very honored, and he is looking forward to the opportunity to host President Putin on American soil. Perhaps President Trump does plan to visit Russia in the future. Oh, wow. So it is a great honor for Trump to host Vladimir Putin on American soil, and then he has already received an invitation. He may go on a return visit to Russia. Well, let's hear what Secretary of State Rubio himself also said yesterday about the meeting the day after tomorrow in Alaska. I think, frankly, this is more of a testing the waters meeting. The president has spoken to Putin on the phone 3 or 4 times, but nothing has come of it. At least we have not achieved what we wanted. So the president thinks I need to see him in person on the other side of the table. I need to hear him one-on-one. I need to make up my mind in person. People need to understand that for President Trump, this is not a concession. There is a big game on the air. For the Europeans, the upcoming Putin-Trump summit in Anchorage is the most obvious demonstration of geopolitical insignificance, because, in fact, the future of Europe, the future of the European security system, the settlement of the biggest conflict in Europe in recent decades, will be decided without representatives of the European states themselves, the member states of the European Union. Well, naturally, they are trying in every way to prevent this, to put a spoke in the wheel, ideally to disrupt the summit, and they continue to give Trump recommendations on how to talk to Putin about what, in their opinion, Trump's red lines should be. The Financial Times is the flesh and blood of the European deep state and even of such an Atlantic community. Let's listen to a recent editorial from this newspaper. The idea that the American leader's Western colleagues should convey to him is that a bad deal will be disastrous for Ukraine, for European American security, and for Trump's own legacy, although this seems unlikely. Trump can still win if he secures an unconditional ceasefire that freezes the conflict. In Alaska, Trump should return to his tough approach and tell Putin that unless he suspends military action, the United States will continue to squeeze the Russian economy and oil exports, and, together with its European allies, will continue to flood Ukraine with weapons. Such a ceasefire would leave important issues such as the future of Russian-occupied territories and Ukrainian forces, and security guarantees from its partners for later, as in some other conflicts, such as the Korean War.